All right, so I hope I'm being heard right now. Honestly, I have no clue what happened a minute ago. None whatsoever. So hopefully you guys are hearing me now. Just hopefully. But welcome again to Military Guna TV. So this is my post-match reaction. USA 4, the Jamaican ReggaeBoyz 1. Hopefully the stream now has relaunched again. I really doubt it. I'm not sure why this is the case and this happened at this point in time when I got a few people on the live as well. But that is definitely, I believe, definitely my luck, and it will always be my luck. But let's see how this one goes. Hopefully the guy people may come back again because I have no clue what happened a minute ago. So let me get straight into it. I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to waste anyone's time because it's literally late. So Jamaica won. A good, very, very good goal from Jamal Lowe, but we suffered a heavy blow. I mean a heavy blow. Sergio Des, Aronson, and Liglet scored 2 goals a brace, typically. Let us see what we can get from this game. And it's something that I never wanted to happen. I really didn't want that to happen. I thought we could have actually put up a stronger fight, really stamp a bit of authority in the game. We didn't do that, and the result is we got, to be fair, we got battered. I'm going to be honest, we got battered, and I can't see an excuse. I can't build an excuse for us right now. Poor result, to be fair, very poor result. And there's no way around it. There's no way around that. Just a typical poor performance and a poor result. There are actually other things that we could look at and think that there are other factors we could look at, but I don't want us to use those factors as excuse. We're going to say the team is not gel. We're going to see there's quite a few amount of new players. Yes, there are factors which can apply, but I think we didn't apply ourselves, to be fair. We didn't apply ourselves, or we wanted to apply ourselves throughout this game. And I think we could have done better. Please, guys, hit the like button. I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. It would mean a lot. We could have done better than what we did today. We could have definitely done better than what we did today. And because we didn't do what we were supposed to do, we got slapped. We got slapped, and there's no way around it. But positive to take from the game. What are the positives that we can take from this game? What are the general positives that we can take from this game? We see the debutants. Big up coaches there for jumping in the chat. Big up Ramon as well. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for just a few positives. The fact that we see the debutants, and a few debutants really stand out and account for themselves on the pitch. But we could have, it was evident where we lost the battle today. It was really evident where we lost that battle. That battle was lost in the midfield area. We suffered significantly in the midfield area. And if you guys should look at it, we were limited in regards to player selection. We were really limited in accordance to player selection because we brought so much defenders and a limited amount of midfielders. Yes, we understand the contract issues, the negotiation that is taking place. And what I am upset about, I am mostly upset about the JFF because these negotiations should have been completed. We had football break for 1 year for the JFF. Football break for such a long time. The last game we played was like in November or something like that. And we had such a long time to sort out these issues. So coming to this, leading factors coming to the Gold Cup, the World Cup qualifiers, we should have get these things sorted out. We should have get these things sorted out so that we have all the best player playing out on the pitch. Now, one of the positives is that it's a caveat, to be fair. USA was missing practically 2 or 3 of their key players. So basically they had almost their complete team on the pitch. And we saw our C team. That was less than that was, I think that was beyond our B team. That was basically our C team. We saw where our C team exploited a few of their weaknesses, and exploiting those weaknesses, it goes to show that they are not as strong as we would deem them to be, because Brooks in the defense line was horrible. It was really, really horrible. But it was evident that our major problem was our midfield. Yes, we can say we can throw a lot of the blame on Kevin Isaac, but guess what? He hasn't played football in such a long time. But the senior players like Mariappa, Hector, these guys are senior players in the Jamaican football team, in the ReggaeBoyz team. These guys should be leading from the front, and I didn't see them doing that. I didn't see them taking the game by the scruff of its neck. I saw Liam Moore, a debutant, taking the game by the scruff of the neck, barking orders all over the pitch, stamping his authority in the game. Even Pinnock did the same as well. These are the guys who stood and they stand out on the pitch as well. And that is the reason why Liam Moore and also Andre Gray was the two of the players that I see significantly as really, really stand out. Yes, I respect what Jamal Lowe did in regards to his goal, and he was like a light wire. I'm going to break down this game in spaces and in segments. I'm going to break down this game in segments. I'm going to break down series of play, things that happened that we could have avoided. These are some of the things that really, really dragged us down into growth. Let me run through some of the comments first. Big up coaches, that much respect for you to come across. Raman, positive we can take is that we created chances with a team that haven't played before. That is a positive as well. Woke Dream said, yeah, the midfield was a problem. That's why Casey Palmer was isolated. And I saw that as well. Casey Palmer literally was isolated. And if you should look at Casey Palmer's stats, he did more defensive work than attacking work. And one of the things that I realized is that when we had the ball, we had them on the back. We had them on the back foot. They were scrapping, trying to get into position, trying to get themselves together, which shows that they have weakness. They have significant weakness onto their team as well. So we can understand that they also have significant weakness. So let's caveat this now. Let's put this in a bundle. In the goal, we had a young keeper, very, very young keeper. Big up 1-1. Much respect. I respect you coming in. Raman, where are the other people? Big up Delano for jumping in the chat. Big up, much respect for you guys coming over. Really respect showed. So let's go. We have a very, very young keeper in the goal. Yes, we might say he's not the best. He didn't put on a professional performance. But what I realized is that the defense in front of him was solid, but we were still leaking. We were still leaking a bit. We were definitely still leaking. The thing about it, that coach, is that I started the live stream and then something happened and I had to restart it. So that is okay, no problem. What you probably could do is probably can just share the stream. You could just share the stream, coaches, if you can. So as I was saying, we saw what some of the things that we saw is that Andre Gray. What I realized Andre Gray, one of the positive things that I realized Andre Gray, his all-up play is really, really good. When he controls the ball, it was really, really important how he positioned his body, getting himself in behind the man and the ball, keeping possession of that ball. It could be aerially or even ground duels. He was dominant throughout the entirety of the game. In his attacking third, also in his possession of the ball. So these are the significant things. Now, when we look over to the team, we are the team that USA, we're in our team that USA tend to attack. USA wanted to attack down their left hand side and also our right hand side. It could be that it could also be that they had Pulisic and Des on the same side, so they tend to attack more and down that side. But what I know about Pulisic is that Pulisic tends to drift where the weaker point of the team is. Pulisic just drift where the weaker point of the team is. Pulisic is going to drift where he's going to find himself in the position where the weakest point of his opposition is. And they targeted Mariappa. I won't say it is significant or it's like that was the plan, but throughout the game they targeted Mariappa. But fair to say, in the first 15 minutes of the game, I saw tenacity, I saw aggression, I saw a team that wanted to play this game. We were looking good. We didn't have possession of the ball. We didn't have much possession of the ball, but what we did do was we put the fight. We really put the fight, took the fight to them. We were getting in the tackles, 1v1. We were really, really physical, using the physicality, pace and power against them. But it was evident that they had a more technical based team, keeping the ball, playing it around. We tried to outrun them. We were trying also to out physique them as well. It wasn't working, to be fair. It really wasn't working. So guess what? So they targeted our right hand side, and I think Mariappa was also one of the significant costs because of that. Mariappa wasn't having the best game, and also you saw where because Mariappa wasn't having a good game, Leon Moore had to went over a bit to help defensively. Then now you see Pinnock coming across, which is what you don't want. So you had the entire team going over to the side, over to the right hand side where Mariappa has been overloaded. Yes, we have to commend USA for doing that as well, because they did overload on that particular side because they wanted to create basically most of their diamonds on that side of the field because they had their strongest player. Also, we had one of our weakest player. I won't say it's significantly our weakest player, but it was the oldest player on the pitch going up against some really, really young legs. So it's like seeing Oliver Samuels Oliver Samuels going up against maybe a Usain Bolt in that sense. It was really really unforgiving what I saw when they really went down on Mariappa's side. Let me go into some of the comments. Asburn said, hello, them over ReggaeBoyz commentary, coaches ex. Me loyal enough. A coaches ex are military good, I say. Big up Raman, big up, much respect, bro. Walk dream. We need a deep playing midfielder in the team. I agree with that. No, look at this. We were really significantly weak in the midfield era. What if we should add in an Isaac Aiden in that midfield area? You can see where we have room to strengthen. There's a lot of room to get stronger in this team because the players are out there to facilitate that strength. Now, what I realized, Andre Gray can play on either side. So if we should also get Tony, Ivan Tony as well. These are significant additions to the team, and I think going forward, teams will fear us. A lot of teams will fear us going forward. But the problem would be now we have to get the defensive structure right. And my problem is this now. We knew that the midfield was quite poor. I thought what Whitmore should have done is press a bit higher. Don't sit so deep. If your midfield is that weak, it means that they are going to bypass the midfield at the simplest chance. They will bypass your midfield. So press a bit higher. Take yourself out of your 18-yard box. For quite too often, they had us pin down in our own 18-yard box, and it made it a bit difficult for us. So Mariappa is one of the guys who caused us a variety of problems, causing us to really lose the battle over on that side. And in football, it is important for you to win your 1v1 battle. Your 1v1 duels, it is really, really important that you win those duels. And it makes your team a better team when you come out victorious in those particular areas. Now, let me move over to the next side, Liam Moore. He is the person that I said was really, really impressive to me. These are some of the things that I saw Moore did. The commanding element of the command, all aerial duels, all ground duels as well. In earlier part of the game, I saw when I think it was Pulisic got a breakaway going through the midfield, and Leon Moore went across, body flying on the ground, stopping the attack, and recovering the ball as well, playing it off to Hector, and immediately as he gave it to Hector, Hector made a bad pass and lose the ball. But Leon Moore, he was barking orders, trying to organize the midfield. So he had a lot of work doing, barking orders to Mariappa as well. And I'm like, Mariappa is the captain of the team, and someone who's just playing inside of this team is barking orders at you. So that is one of the reasons why I targeted Mariappa, that he didn't have a good game. He didn't account for himself in a proper manner. For a debutant to come in the team like Liam Moore, barking orders at you as a senior member in the team, the captain of the team, it didn't spell well. It didn't look good for Mariappa in that sense. And I think now that would show that the game maybe has passed Mariappa. So I'm going to move on to Pinnock next. Let me run through a few more of the comments section. Patrick Riley, thank you very much for dropping in. I think USA realized that we're weak on the right-hand side, though, so they keep attacking the flank. Yes, I agree. That is what they realized. They realized that they could target or down that side. So guess what? Let us use that element. It could also be the fact that they had their strongest players, two of their strongest players on that side, which is this, and also Pulisic. But the midfielder, which was in between both of them, he was doing the floating role. He was like a number 10 in the 4-4-3. He was a creative element. He was I think his name is Legit or something of that sort. Easy. Let's go. Raman. Big up to everyone in the chat. Much respect. Much respect. Andre Gray can take pressure off the team with his all up play. And yes, I realize that quite so often he did that, but he didn't have any support. By the time the ball reached him, and he should all up the play for like 10 to 15 minutes, seconds, or even 3-4 seconds. He had no support, so he'd be double up, and then two players come and tackle him, and then he will automatically lose it. Coaches that he held up the ball well and was able to get an assist. Yes, I agree. He has some really good passes in those channels, and the thing about it is that it wasn't the first time he did it. Remember the first pass that he gave to Jamal as well, where Jamal fluked it and kicked it wide off the post. So it wasn't like a one-off option. Map is good, but was just too slow at the right back. Yes, and we can't afford that. We can't afford any weakling. Playing against a solid USA team, we can't afford any weakling. Coach said he's slow for true. Yes, he was slow. Slap the like button, people. Thank you very much for that, Delan. Raman said, how comes we didn't see West Hardening? I think West Hardening can be the one who has actually been the COVID issue. It could be. I didn't see him on the bench either. Night Lobe. Big up, Rajay. Big up. Massive big up, bro. Simon Williams. Big up, Simeon. Welcome. More looks like a future captain. I agree. And he was barking orders to everyone. And he was so upset when you consider the first goal. And he got really, I think you guys should look at his reaction for the third goal. I think, was it the third goal? The goal that they pin up. I think it was Reynolds and turn pin up inside out and pass it on to who scored. I'm not sure. I'm not even remember who scored. It could be the sergeant guy. Really upset. He was upset for that. He was really upset for that. Simon said they played their right back in the left back position, vice versa on the next side. Yeah, because they want to target down our side, that side for us. Let me see. I'm missing this sergeant to Aaron. Exactly. So it was actually sergeant. So definitely that is one of the things. We need more leaders like that, but not leaders that were just going to talk about the game, but people who are going to perform. People are going to perform. Now let's move on to Pinnock. Solid performance from Pinnock. You saw that he was a bit winded maybe in the 70th minute or so. I thought Mr. Whitmore saw that he was already impressed, so I said, let me take you out and give someone else an opportunity. But it was a solid performance from Pinnock as well. All aerial duels was won by our team. And that has a lot to say. That shows a lot about the team itself. Really and truly, I really enjoy both No, Bell. Guys, tell me what you think about Bell. I am impressed. I am really impressed about Bell. Let's see, Taxi might have something to say about that. But I am really impressed about Bell. What I like about Bell is that, yes, I realize that he got done about 2 times where Reina got in behind him and put in a few crosses. But yes, he's so quick, really quick, technically good player. He's not the biggest of left back, but he has the right height to get the job done. I accept that we didn't dominate possession, but I see Bell as a type of player that plays in a big team that dominates possession. Whilst dominate possession, he would bomb forward and get those crosses because he has a very good left foot. He has a really good pinger off a left foot, and I agree with that as well. Let's move into the midfield where the problem was. that is where we suffered the most. That is where we suffered most. So when I was on coaches that we discussed it, I said personally, I don't want to see Hector in the field, but we already knew that Hector will start. I didn't want to see Hector in the midfield, and even Formula Sports was saying that he would start Hector. And the reason why I never wanted to start Hector is because Hector has been very, very poor. And I bring across the stats. Hector played 4 games in the Premier League. In those 4 games, he conceded 12 goals in 4 games. Conceded 12 goals in 4 games. And those were the early stages of the season. He hasn't played a game since maybe October. He hasn't played a game. He has not played a game since October. And he has conceded 12 goals in 4 games. So that shows that he's not performing at the utmost best. And now we have seen the reason why he's not performing as well. But I won't slate him as well. No, we saw Cavan Isaac struggled. He really, really struggled. At the 40 minute, he made a tackle, and it was evident that he was knackered. It was really evident that he was really, really tired. He went in for a half-hearted challenge and fouled the player at the edge of our 18, creating a dangerous chance for them. So you could see that it could be a case in which Hector was having such a bad game. He didn't play any football for such a long time, and he was just there trying to cover all the errors that were the errors that Hector was doing. And so it's very, very hard to judge him. It makes the game. It made it very, very hard to judge him and that aspect of the game. Now, what I'm going to get into something, the tactical aspect of the game. As soon as I finish this, let's go into the attacking three. First, Morris, he did too much defending. He did way, way too much defending. And then now, at the other end of the deal is that he couldn't get himself into the game as much as he would wanted to. Let me run through some of the comments right away. So Raman said, if we had Aiden and Dex, that Dex goal could score that Aiden positioning. Yes, Aiden is really good at positioning. And when I was looking at Hector, I realized that because he was having a very poor game. Hector was having a poor game, and in football, when you're having a poor game, you tend to try and make up for it. So you go about looking work, you go about doing everything in the game, trying to correct the mistake, and you're trying to force the error. When you start to force in the error now, you're starting to make more mistakes that you'd wish to make. And that is something that I saw Hector was suffering from. He makes the first 2 errors, then he started to making more errors because he's trying to correct that error to maybe win back his confidence. What he should have done, he should have stayed calm and actually just let the game flow. He should have let the game. He should have definitely let the game flow. But he didn't do that. He started to try and correct his mistake. Patrick Riley said, was impressed by Bell's speed. Was good reading the game as well. Yes, I was impressed by him reading the game. His speed, his tenacity, the ability to go up and come down in quick succession as well. He has good high concentration. I really like his performance. Simeon said, low grade more for Bell, Pinnock, and Palmer. Need to see more of them before a decision. Till should have scored. He missed a big chance. Till's a defender, so you can't expect Till to be as clinical. Yes, it was a good chance, but he's a defender, so we have to give and take in some cases. Right after USA scored their 3rd goal. Agree. 3 of the goals was not defensive mistake. The mistake was made in the midfield. Agreed, and that was the problem. But when I was in my match ratings, it was very difficult for me. It was very, very difficult for me to give anyone in the defense line any high ratings because they did concede 4 goals. Despite all the factors were in their favor, they did concede 4 goals. Coaches bet Hector wasn't bad to begin with, but after that, in boss. Yeah. So after the first error, my word, he was just all over the pitch trying to correct the mistake, and he just couldn't get, because in the first half we were really, really good. In the first 15 minutes of the game, the energy was there. We tried to dominate the midfield, but we applied the physicality, but it didn't come around. Woman said, at the start when we were compact, he was fine, but as soon as there was some space, he was exposed, and he got progressively worse as the game went on. Yeah, and I'm going to address that when I'm going to show you something why I'll address that. Something that I thought Tappa could have done maybe it's not a must, but I think it's something that he could have done. Our defense is good going forward. Yes, I think so. I think so as well. Even a goalkeeper. I agree with that. Even a goalkeeper could have scored the tilt chance. Now, let me move on to the next players. Casey Palmer. Good performance from Casey Palmer. You can see the technical ability that he has. He didn't get to display that as much, but a solid performance also from Lowe. A really, really good. I like his style of play. Can you imagine when Bobby Reed and those guys really, really coming into this team? I think we have something to look forward to. And Andre Gray, his whole play, his technical ability, it was really, really good. It was a sight to see, and I enjoyed that performance from him. So let me show you guys something. When the game went when they scored their first goal in the 34th minute, I was saying, let's keep it compact and try to remain calm. So went in at halftime. I thought that Mr. Whitmore might make a change because I saw that Isaac was really, really tight at first half. I saw the two side. Maybe you said give him some more time for him to stretch his leg a bit in the same sense. No, when you went 2 goals down at the 52nd minute, this is what I thought he could have done to improve the team. I thought he could have went to a 4-3-3 formation, giving us a more attacking element rather than still sitting deep, because coaches next, remember we discussed it, that what if they got an early goal, what we do then? I was saying it to Formula Sport that we can't just come approach this game and sit back with 7 defensive-minded players. If they score a goal, we're going to find it very, very difficult to counter that. What I thought we should have done, what I should say, credit hats off to USA. They pressed us really, really well. They exploited our weak areas, and they did their homework and they got away from it. One of the things that I realized that what USA did that we didn't do, guys, I want you to tell me if I'm wrong or I'm right. In-game management, the players on the field, they assess the situation and they make their corrections to what they were doing. They saw that they saw that the ReggaeBoyz were pressing them, using a lot of physicality. They saw that, and what they did, they started to withhold the ball, allowing us to come out a bit deeper. Then they come on to us a bit right. I thought we could have went to a proactive approach. We went 2 goals down. It makes no sense sit in the 4-2-3 formation in the same sense. What he should have done, we had 2 holding midfielders. A defender as an holding midfielder, also Isaac as a natural holding midfielder. He could have pulled Isaac at that particular time, go with a 2-8 with an attacking front 3. Let Hector sit in front of the defense. Let him take away all that hard work that he's doing. Could be at that point in time, you could have Casey Palmer and Lowe as the Casey Palmer and Lowe as the 2-8s, and use maybe replace Morrison at that particular time. Or we could even, when we pull Isaac, bring on Luca Levy, because when Luca Levy came on, we saw how composed he was in the midfield. He had a bit of dominance in the midfield area. You saw that he had a bit of touch. When we took off Isaac, we could have put on Luca Levy, went to a 4-3-3. So Hector in the holding position, Casey Palmer and Luca Levy as the number 8s. We had Morrison on the right, Lowe on the left, and Andre Gray up front, which means that we are going now into an attacking formation. Guess what? We're already losing the game. So guess what? Let's go for it. Let's not continue to sit. But for the entirety of the game, we sit deep and allow them. We gave them possession, let them dominate us. And in football, as I always said, good football, proper football always prevail. Proper football always prevail. And on the field, the USA players, they did their trial and error. They find out their issues on the field and they corrected it themselves. They didn't wait on the coach to give them any instruction. They fixed it. They fixed it themselves. I realized that they started to overload over on the left-hand side. I'm surprised that Mariappa finished the entirety of the game. I was really, really surprised. I thought they could have done better. I really thought Mr. Whitmore could have done better. We're already losing. Why not just change the mindset of a defensive mindset, go all out attacking? Maybe the Formula Sports have Mr. Whitmore on a phone call, giving Mr. Whitmore some instructions, and rather than going more attacking, telling them let's throw on all defenders and let Andre Gray up front alone. So guys, tell me what you think about that. Yes, let me run through some of the comments again. I'm letting the comments run away from me. Yeah, he had to score that. He was stretching ugly. Yeah, true. Gunnar, you're right. Gonna add coaches that store live. Coaches, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. That's what I was saying. Our coach isn't a thinker. Yeah, I thought that it took too long. It took too long to react to what USA were doing. And it didn't react in the right way. We're already losing the game. Why not take a proactive reaction, proactive approach to the game? You're already losing the game. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Look at when we started. When we got the goal, we're actually going for it. That is when we got the goal. Because when we got the chance to equalize 2-2, we were gaining a bit of dominance at that particular time. We were gaining a bit of dominance, and we didn't capitalize on it. Coaches, I just put the link in the chat if you want to come on. That would be the perfect time to go for it, and we didn't go for it. We didn't go for it, and we saw where the USA went for it. They went all out. They flood the players down. So a lot of people might say, I might not know what I'm talking about. Let me show you guys something. You guys know I love to talk about stats. Look at this. Look at the amount of shots that USA take. The amount of shots that USA took really showed show you guys that they were really peppering us. They took almost 30 shots off our goal. 30. They had 70% possession. We had 30. We completed the first half with 28% possession. So for the entire second half, we only added on 2%, 2 more percent of possession. Only 2 more percent. That is not good. We can't approach certain game like that. We can't approach certain game like that. Welcome, coach. Big up, coach.
Oh, go on, bro. Yeah, man.
Big up. So,
yeah,
coach, I'm sure you're seeing the statistics. They had 28 shots off goal, right? 28 shots off our goal. Now, me could take away the senior football away from it. Me could go to schoolboy football. Schoolboy football, you coach a team. You coach Bagwak. And you play against Charlie Mount. Charlie Mount have 70% possession. Take 28 shots off your goal. They might pepper you, though.
Yeah, man.
They might pepper you. They might pepper you.
That means they might breathe down. They might breathe down the neck.
Man, I nyam the man in my neck. Coach, a vampire them. Coach, them dominate upon all aspects I gave, coach. Let me tell you, they dominate upon all aspects.
But one of the things why I would say that they dominate us, you know, they were a bit more much sharper than us.
Yeah.
They are a bit more technical in terms of individual play. They were able to move the ball in spaces. They were able to link up play easily because we allow them the space. So a whole lot of things went against us in that game. We basically backed off, and that's why I believe the goal scored, you know, because the defenders were under pressure. And how long can you soak up so much pressure?
Pressure bust pipe.
Yeah, man, pressure bust pipe, man. So that's one of the reasons why them score so many goals. Because if you notice, you know, the back line wasn't breached with the first goal, you know.
No.
It just a player just decides, all right, the defense looks, I'm going to try something. He probably hear about the keeper and probably watch with broadcast and hear about the keeper. You understand? Right. So, the middle of the park was lousy, Virgin.
During the game, you know, I realized Hector and Isaac changed position. Hector come over to the right hand side. Isaac go over to the left hand side. That is the reason why Isaac, Hector quite so often and Mariapa link up, you know. Now, one of the things I'm realizing in the game is this. If you look on the position, we'll goal and score from. I down right hand side the goal and score now. I down at the right hand side of the team the goal and score.
Yeah.
No, then target our right hand side. I won't say
because I'm up with thing.
All right, I agree with that because me never say because the best player dep on the right hand, dep on the left hand side, which is all right. Because Pulisic had a bad game, have a very disappointing game.
Yeah,
but yes or no? It's the Sergeant live between Mariappa and Moore. He never did that dominate more no. So he stick closer to Mariappa. A Sergeant spin I wouldn't spin, pin up.
Pin up, yeah man, pin up and show.
My word, me says he's pin up, you know.
But you see, if me or the coach and me ever talk to my team about that goal military.
Wiping
right
up
now, me I beat the man with inside the box. You throw one of my defender, you can't take away. That is a player improvising, utilizing his skills, and that's one of our best defenders.
Yeah.
Play a team ball inside. You know why we weren't able to pick up that ball? Because if you notice, the defender that was standing before lost sight of the player who ran in, you know.
Yeah.
So he had an easy tap in under no pressure because if he was watching that player and just block him like a pick and roll in basketball, he wouldn't be able to just tap in that goal.
You know, me feel like as well. He didn't not the all the one day. You see the midfielder them, they not pick up the incoming runners. Midfielder them not picking up the incoming runners. Guess what now? And the incoming runners are the man who kill you know. The man who break inside, you know, and join the attack in our 18-yard box, you know. And them man they can kill you off, you know. And for them midfielder run from the midfield, come in our 18-yard box and score now. Can score two tap in, you know.
Yeah, so the half the ball movement, then now watch the half the ball runners.
Are we a ball watch?
Ball watch, yeah.
Ball watch. You know why me lead to ball watch? Me feel like we had a massive communication issue in the defensive area as well. Because the only reason why Pinnock would find himself over this is if Mariappa and Moore out of position. Or Moore go over to assist Mariappa. To assist Mariappa and Pinnock go over go cover. And that's how we find himself in a big error. But we suffer, the midfielder will suffer. And the thing is, the team is not as bad as the result, to be fair.
Yeah, man,
make the team look worse. Yeah, the result make the team look worse. Because look on the chances that we create. We create really good chances. Chances that we could have killed out their team.
We could have scored 3 goals. Curtis still.
Yeah.
Morris with him first goal, Ricardo Morris. And of course the goal where Jamal scored. So we could at least score 3 goals.
Remember Jamal loaded dash on early one as well. I loaded dash early one where I think Andre Gray play him through and him take it on the left foot.
No, I never I sitting there that
Morris. Yes, man. The early one.
I low play him in.
When in scruff and play it and box wide.
Yeah.
No, give me your insight where you think about Andre Gray. Where you think? You think as somebody who can solidify himself in the starting 11?
He's a very useful player. Yes, I believe him can solidify himself in the starting 11. He can hold up the ball good. I think he was a bit isolated to them, on him own.
Yeah.
So you never really see him in the game. You notice the ball when he get 3 or 4 balls, you see him get him just hold up and knock back. So I can see that is a strength of his game. So definitely that is a strength of his game. It's just that we didn't have the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Nobody never in the middle of the park for Marshall, for block the players them from the US. US just get a free ride. Like a free pass. You play Monopoly and you get free pass. You can pay free pass then get
because quite so often Mr. Musa are running Migla pitch. Pulisic are running Migla pitch. Even Dessa come from so far.
Man, they just drive through.
My coach now, I tell me say broke your foot, you know. My coach I say broke your foot. No make him pass. No make him take a yellow card. Don't make him pass.
You know when you go through the toll road and you have you on the thing there, you got the E-pass That's the US man them look at them that use. Yeah, man.
Military Guna TV. Who you have as the centre back pairing after today? Low and more for me. What do you think about that? You coach?
Low and more?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have tried them. But the thing about it still enough, we can't have two rash tacklers in a day. So. Yeah. Low is a rash tackler and more look like he's a serious rash tackler.
Yeah, man.
And we chew him body all of our place just to block the ball.
Man. You notice also last this tackle man making a but the thing about it though, I mean like in precise.
Exactly. Timing is good. Him time the ball good.
Yeah, man. In full of time, but you don't know say at one point the timing will be off at some point.
Exactly.
But personally, I like Pino really calm.
Yeah, calm. Pino calm. Pino can low calm. Which is Jamal low. The man look effortless on the pitch, Virgin.
Yes, enough I play them how we hype up and say them on the most night team. We can't tell you no. There's gonna be surprises, you know. Some I play them now. We need to stop hype up some players, you know. We need to stop hype up some players. Make players play for them position. Man is supposed to play for them position. I believe the players to play for them position. And Delan ever coach, you know. Delan in support Arsenal, right? Delan cost Arteta. Delan cost Whitmore. Any other team in support them cost. Delan feel like I have support the rank and team them. They feel like I have support the rank team them. Don't lose that Pinnock. I already was playing with an injury. No man, we're confident that Pinnock. Luca Livia's composure, but he had no impact on the game. The game passing by. No, the game actually passed everybody by. When Luca Livia came in the pitch, you could see that a bit of stability was gained just a little bit. But I like players where you can't take the ball from. Luca Livia is one of those players. He releases the ball really, really quick, and you can't take it from him. What do you think about Luca Livia?
Yeah, man, he seems to be a good player too. I like him. It's just that he did not get a lot of time, and with the whole midfield out of position, for him to come on in that sort of situation, I doubt he would have wanted to be in that situation.
As a young youth as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I would keep him just to work on him, let him gain some experience with the more seasoned midfielders, and we can take it from there.
And something I'm realizing, he's one of the most technical players we have, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's one of the most technical players we have. So, me like to be fair, me like when see from him. All right, so coach, me ask you a question. So you lose a game 2-0, right?
Yeah.
You have basically 6 defenders on the pitch. 4 running back and 2 in the midfield. You're losing the game 2-0. You're not gonna switch and go into a bit more attacking impetus. It makes sense to try to go for a game at that point in time. You're already way off, you know.
Of course.
I thought Tappa blunder right there, so my thinking shouldn't go because when you score the 1 goal now, I the 2% of possession of gain during the time period they will capitalize on it, you know, and score now. I thought he could have went for a bit more attacking minded players. I thought that he never want to bring up Hector. Yes. So guess what? Put Hector in the midfield in between the 2 defenders. Let him be the central defensive midfielder, the all-in midfielder, and give him 2 number 8, 2 box-to-box.
Mm-hmm.
Give him 2 box-to-box. Yes, Isaac tired. Who should have box-to-box there up on the bench? Shabani couldn't come on. Or Omar. Which one of them?
I would have bring on Omar early.
So would have Omar.
Take out, you see, half time, I would have put on back Isaacs.
Eh?
I wouldn't put on back Isaacs half time. He would have get 45 minutes. Yeah.
He's tired, the seat.
Would have made the change from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, you have put on Oldness, use Hector, make Casey Palmer and Oldness be the 2 box, 2 number 8 them. Probably would have give Morris a little more time. Because at the point in time, we'll probably gain a little at the midfield. But guess what? Yes, them play 4-3-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
We play 4-2-3-1. We had 2 midfielders. They had 3-3, and then used for them 3 dominate our 2. But in our sense, still we were actually sitting the entirety of the game. So much respect onto that. What we know now is that what we shouldn't do, what really shouldn't happen is this. I thought that Tappa should have been more proactive and been taking a proactive measures. Probably we as fans watching the game would have said, all right, at least I'm going to go feed. So we lose now, we can
As,
say, in go fit, we fall right while fight. We dead while we fight.
yeah, I said it in the military. As a coach, and I know Karoom is on. See him named it up on his screen. As a coach,
Yeah.
you should be able to think the game. You
Mm-hmm.
are thinking you are watching the game from the sideline, and you should
Yeah.
be able to they said that it's not always good for us to be shouting as the coach on the sideline. But I'm passionate about the game, so I attack the game, meanwhile I'm on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do in a situation like that, I'm going to ensure that you see man where I go on with things in the midlife park, that
Yeah.
number two, Des
This.
and Surget or whatever him name is.
Liget,
Yeah, the
League get
number was 17?
17 and
17 and
scored two
number
goals.
two.
And
Me
scored
up
two goals.
me I put somebody for mark them man out of game.
Mm-hmm.
So me I close mark them. You see players like those that are technically better than you
Yeah.
cannot give them space.
Yeah,
You
they'll hurt it.
understand? You have to ensure say you allow them, not allow them the space that they would have thrived in. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what they allow. So as a coach on the sideline, me I give strong instruction,
Stay close to him.
What you mean, man? Me I give strong instruction.
The right person that stay close to him would have been the Roman person. That would have been Casey Palmer because him had the Roman role. So he may not be the right person to stay close to him.
Yeah.
But Mr. Hughes make a solid Karoom make a solid point there. So same thing as the point. The coach must see the game from early because of several occasions they make in-roll down our right hand side. We never adjust to it, make maybe bring low to that side and put on Morris. Yes, may I agree with that as well. We never adjust to what they do. You notice that the moment we start step up our tempo, they adjust. And me now go say the coach alone because see them coach never do much talking. So I realize that the players them on the pitch were doing their game management. So we need them in the importance of a solid defensive midfielder, someone who can kill the tempo of the game. When we realize is that because we are lose, right? What we tend to do, as we get the ball, we try to go forward. We just have a punch the ball forward. What we trying to take his thing out of the game. When we tool up down, take this thing out of the game. Even when we start the second half, because them start pressure early. Take this thing out of the game and build momentum. And from there on, we can try to find our way how we can break them down. You know what them do? Them control the ball, them control the tempo of the game, and them pick, they pick around, come like one arc, one eagle, beat up one coconut until he find our way in. And that them we never seek the initiative there and take our time. Try to dominate possession of the ball game. And that means not about dominate possession of the ball game. It is important. If the players them technically better than you, what you do, you outrun them. And guess what? No, we now have a fitness level as well. So we were really outgunned on many different ways. Keruma bring across some solid points. We need to work on our chemistry. Solid point. Simeon said if Casey was Ravel behind him, if Casey had as Ravel behind him and Lambert, trust me, it'll be a problem. I'm sure. We could see. What ratings we give the coach? Coach, you answer that.
Boy, a low grade the game,
Low grade?
No high grade, yeah, man. Low grade the game.
Barney said Casey Palmer offered no creativity today. It's just a fashion baller. Casey Palmer didn't have the option. He didn't have the ball. What we can do? Simone saying he coaching 3 out of 10. Karoom said what position Holness play for his club? Holness, I think he's a midfielder. Right wing are one of those positions. I'm gonna check. Definitely I'm gonna check on it right now. I'm gonna check Holness position, Karoom. Delano said the coach gets 0. Delano Ram can beat coach Delano. Simone said tell Barney saying if you shut up, Hector make the team have to drop a bit deeper. Yeah, because really and truly, if you look on Casey Palmer defensive stats, it's better than the attacking stats. It's better than the attacking stats. So there's many ways to it. We were playing with 3 central midfielders. I thought we started to play 3 central midfielders when we No, remember now. No. Yes, we know that Hector is playing in the midfield position, but he's not a dominant. He's not a dominant midfielder. He's a defender. Put him in a defensive position. I think you'll get the best of him. And that is what I said about specialists in their position. We don't want to shoehorn players in certain positions. We get the specialists for that particular position. Yes, we know Mariappa can play at the right back position, so we shoehorn him over to the right hand side. Think about it. When we know when truth be told, Mariappa probably would give us a better game in central defensive position. Yes, we know that there wasn't any position for him. Mariappa didn't account for himself, to be fair. So he had a poor game. The team overall had a poor game. And I think that is something that we have to work on. Chemistry, as I said, Mr. Yu, big factor. Simeon, I don't know you, so don't have a conversation. Come on, guys. No need for that already. I saw that goal coming a long way before it happened. Poor chemistry. We break down too easy. I thought they break us down quite too easy. Don't you agree, Coach?
Yeah, man, that was the case.
Yeah, I thought they were, yeah.
May I agree with you upon a point there.
All the details said we had no plan for this. All right, so other details. Let me clarify this here about football. Yes, we know we identify that every team has a quality player. So you're going to play against a Barcelona. Most teams try to nullify Lionel Messi. Do you think that is the best way to approach a game? I believe that the best way to approach a game is not to worry about their star player, more so worry about your game plan and how you are going to hurt them. Because if you are the team and you're hurting them, they have less chance of hurting you. I believe. I can be wrong. Because if Manchester City is playing against Barcelona, what Manchester City do? Remain possession of the ball. You limit the amount of opportunities that Lionel Messi will get, and you limit the amount of time you will get the ball by you controlling the ball and scoring maybe a few goals. You limit them. I can be wrong. Coach, do you have anything on that?
In terms of that, if there's a player that, and that's why I'm saying that the coach wasn't thinking, because if you see a man in the game that is causing problems in the middle of your park, you should make some sort of adjustment.
Yeah.
And that's what he did not do. And from that standpoint, that's what I'm saying. He should have made some adjustments.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, but he's talking about like from even before the game kickoff, that we didn't have a game plan for a particular player.
You can have a game plan for a particular player, but I don't see where it was necessary, because I'm speaking on the basis of, all right, you didn't have a plan for the player.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do when you see him creating so many problems?
That is where now you address it.
And that's what I'm saying. He did not do that.
Yeah.
He did not put anything in place to stop this player. You just allow him to play freely. Even if you spoke to the players, you weren't getting it from them. Make some adjustments.
Yeah.
Put on a player.
And that's true. I agree with that. I'm a big advocate.
Put on a player that will follow your instruction. I remember Tuchel put on the ball over there, and the ball never do him and him take him off, him sub him again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that. But prior to the game, yes, you can have a game plan that in case the player shows up with a particular game time.
Yeah.
But I believe that you as a coach, when you approach a game, you don't worry too much about their team. You try to maximize your team's potential. If you maximize your team's potential and your team is following all your instructions, it means that you are likely to get the results that you want without worrying about their problems, their star players. But naturally, you're going to have that individual player that you just can't do much about. And then in-game management would have a lot to do with that. That is about in-game management. But not prior to. You don't want your team to feel inferior going to any game. You don't want your team to feel inferior going to any game. So you're not going to tell your players, guys, this I my star ball and so try and mark what I give. No, you don't want to tell your team that. You don't want to give that instruction to your team. You want your team to be dominant, confident that they can win. I don't know, confidence kind of breed a bit of comfort in the game, and you can move forward with that. One said some of the substitutions were ridiculous, taking off wingers and bring on central midfielders. We didn't have much depth, but the changes were mad to me. But if we don't have much depth, definitely you're going to see mad changes. So what do you think about that? Oh, Coach, you gone?
No, man, repeat that. We never hear.
Someone said some of the substitution were ridiculous. I'm taking out wingers to put on midfielders. To be fair, we were being overloaded in the midfield. I have to be honest, we were being overloaded in the midfield. But I don't have much to say about that.
When you look on it, it's basically just to give some players some game, a game, you know. I think that was the purpose of those substitutions, because those substitutions did not impact the game in any way.
Yeah, agreed.
So it's more so to give players a run to see what they had to offer rather than impacting the game.
Moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Big up, thank you very much, Ian Campbell, for coming in the chat. Much respect. Casey Palmer is a quality player, and if he or she understands football, his quality would have been obvious. Come on, let's not. Some people are just gonna bicker about players. I saw what Casey Palmer can do. He's very, very technical. He's a technically gifted player.
Military. Yeah. You see, Jamaican fans, they're very hard to please and they grade very high.
Unless you're Messi or Ronaldo.
Yeah, man. So even Messi or Ronaldo, they criticize. So when you look on it, Casey Palmer now get to from them there. He's a good player, man. You can't use one game to start. So the player not good. You have times when players play good and players play bad. That's why you need to have a strong squad. So if a man have a half day, you know you have a replacement on the bench we can come in and inject some life in the game.
Agreed.
You understand?
Yeah, man, agreed. That's a fact. Mr. Yu, yes, he plays central midfield, also attacking midfield for Darlington. That's Omar Olness. So he could have given us something in the midfield as well. None of the central are ball playing central midfielder. That is the issue. Yeah, they were basically like some aggressive. They were basically closer to being a defender. That is the problem. And coach, let me bring across something to your coach. You're well educated, man. I know that for your fact. When I was playing football, I was a striker, right? When time our team had dominated the game, you know the person that will get most touch in the football game when our team had dominated the game? Our defensive midfielders. They had most touches because of them dictate the ball game. We never had that. We never had technical players in a defensive area to dictate that particular game, and we suffered because of it. We had technical players, but they weren't technical enough. Look at when Casey Palmer has the ball. You can't take the ball away from him, and he can find spaces and those gaps. But coach, give me your insight on that. If we had more technical central midfielders, would we have dominated the midfield a bit better? Because we did have the physicality and the pace.
Of course, I agree with that. You see, when you have a good central defensive midfielder, you can move and play box to box. Trust me, he's gonna assist with the defense. That's all the box to box though. Player go to the attacking box, come back to his defensive box. So of course, if that was the case, then definitely we wouldn't look so lackluster in the middle of the park. Definitely. So me agree with you.
Yeah.
We needed a good central defender, midfielder. Sorry.
All right. So me I look on this now. So we had Hector in the midfield. So Hector is a defender by his natural trait. He's a defender. As a defender, playing the midfield, your natural trait, your first priority and instinct is to defend, right? So even when you lose the ball or your team doesn't have the ball, you are going to naturally try and to get into you're going to try and cover your goal. So you're going to dress back off the ball. So you're going to allow your team to play a bit deeper. If we had progressive central defensive midfielders, people who want to take the game forward, who want to advance in the game, they will find space, open spaces for us to press and press a bit higher. I thought we sit back a bit too deep in our own half. We can't play the football in front of our 18-yard box. It opens so many channels. Look how many shots these guys have. And some of those shots, if they were on other details said, good point, City can't restrict Barcelona possession. You're joking. City can't restrict Barcelona. Right now, City is a more possessional team than Barcelona right at this moment. I am telling you that. Go and check out the last year possession-based team with the most possession across Europe. It's between Manchester City and let me see if I could. Let me see. And I think it's between Manchester City and Sevilla, and Chelsea is a part of it as well. Look, Ian Campbell said, look, Luca Levy was horrible. He didn't have, he was introduced into chaos. What do you think about that, coach?
Didn't have a bad game, man. Can't do pressure him. As you said, he was introduced to chaos in a chaotic situation. You want a player like that coming on in a situation where he's gonna be comfortable. Probably he would have never played in a situation where his team was behind and he was hoping to come on and give some life.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that there's also a factor to it now, because we as fans were watching the game and because we're under so much pressure. When a change is made, we're expecting that change to make an impact immediately. And truth be told, is that every time you make a change in a football game, it necessarily means that it's going to ignite the team like that. It's not a must. Some of the changes made is for to minimize collateral damage, to stop the bleeding. I can be wrong. Coach, you ever in a situation where when you're coaching a team and you saw where the game was going and you decided to make a change to stop the bleeding because the team was obviously better than your team, so you made changes to stop the bleeding and minimize the scoreline. You have ever been in that situation?
No, I know. If me make change, I have to minimize an important player that is actually causing problem.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. And looking at that, Whitmore did not do that. Even though the bench was weak, and you wouldn't expect those players to come on and add anything to the team. It's just for game purpose because of the weak bench. And that's why for me as a coach, I always have tried to have 2 players for a position. So you know they compete for the position. If the team is in a problem or that player is in a problem, we can always change him and put on a player, same player that will actually add some value to the team. So
I agree. I really agree. And Patrick Riley said, sorry to say we need a coach, guys. His technical abilities are not up to stats. Been saying that for years. I'm not going to kill the coach because when last have we seen a complete ReggaeBoyz team without any backroom staff issue, without and players playing for the badge? When last have we seen that? When last have you seen that, coach?
You have to give him credit still now because all in all, he has been working with what he has under undue pressure, undue circumstances, lack of resources, lack of help in terms of what he would have wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, even though he's not one of the best coaches tactically, he has been doing a pretty good job with the resource that he would have had.
Oh, guys, please remember to hit the like button. I really appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. True can't let me see. All the details said me rate Casey Palmer energy today. Yeah, he did give it all. And that is something that despite we didn't have a good result, we can't say the players didn't give their all. Even the worst player on the pitch gave his all. They really gave their they give everything. They give everything. So we can't write off commitment. And remember no coach, about the issue about the commitment. Remember we were discussing that? The commitment issue and all those type of things.
Yeah. That's why I always tell them so them can't. There's the loyalty check what them and put on the youth, them and pressure them. So them come because them are England reject. Me not see that today. Me see some players that play there and all.
Yes, man.
Given the circumstance, yeah.
Look, man, I throw him body in every tackle without care. The man, I put him body on the line.
On the line.
And you have to respect. We might feel like they don't care. We might think then they have money. That's how we think. But when a man on the field and throw him body in front of our foot and a ball or kick, throw himself in front tight, and head in throw in front tight. Me and you would sit down and we had to watch him. We can talk all we want. We not do it. We not do it. Then the coach had this coach shut up on the sideline and look, him not do it. And them out there do it. When the match done, you see man physically drained and tired. So match fitness was also a factor, then tired. Coach, this is for you, coach. The substitution cost Jamaica 2 goals.
Of course, you'd expect that. Remember, as I said before, the bench was weak in Virgin. You can't expect no bench player came on and brought anything different to the team. None whatsoever.
It seems like I just minimize collateral damage.
Yeah, and just to play some and just to give some persons a game. Like me, I've been saying that since night. I just give man a game.
Somebody has said we don't have to take the friendly to heart. Well, we love the sport, you know. What you think? All when we know say don't mean nothing. All when we know say don't mean nothing. Mr. Yu said I really did want to see more from Casey Palmer. The coach should have just take off Isaac and bring on Palmer. Bring Palmer beside Hector because just his experience for a second half put onus in the attacking position. That's a valid point as well. Maybe could have taken off Hector and bring on another fresh central midfielder, someone who would take the game to them. But we don't want to leave ourselves exposed a bit. Ian Campbell said the USA will find it difficult to beat a full-strength Jamaica team. We all agree on that. We addressed that a bit earlier. We all of us agree on that, and I solely believe that is a fact as well. Bert said we can take positives and make a proper Gold Cup team with the players to come. Definitely. I can imagine we have the full squad. I was hoping the coach play the players. Mr. Yu said I was hoping the coach play the players in their preferred position and trying to address the issues that affecting the team over the years now down the spine. That is a solid point. We were discussing that, don't coach? Playing players in their respective positions.
Yeah. Rome did mention that too.
Yeah, man. Basically putting round pegs in square hole. The ball was just around Levy. The pace was hectic and our team was a mess at that point. Really, we were in the gutter. Always on the wing. It was all mad. Better Miguel Coley did a coach. Miguel Coley. What do you think about that?
As we say about thinking, Coach Miguel is a coach who can think still enough. So
proactive.
Yeah, man, I not think you would have a worse game than this. In terms of the coaching department. So.
How long now Tappa coach in Jamaica? How much term now him do? How much years now I coach Jamaica?
A good amount now because him do one stint first. Probably this time third stint.
Overall, you know, do more than 3 years? In all?
Yeah, man. In coach, this time 4th year now, his second term, and he did coach before, and he was an interim coach, and then I think he did the under 20 coach. So he made a long time there part of the program.
So all the details said, me did proud to be a Jamaican today, even though me did feel like we did a lose. I feel like we did a lose. My word, we're getting slapped. All the details. Man, they must slap with left, right, and center. Ian Campbell said, let us look at a possible 23-man squad for the Gold Cup, and we think we can gather those players. If things go in accordance to what we want, we could go that. So, big up EGTV. My dude, you got a big bad today. Yes, EG. US hold us and slapped us. They took us apart. They skinned us alive like us. Coach, thank you very much for coming on the chat, but much respect. To all you guys. We did a long time. We've been here over an hour now. Much respect to everyone. And it's late, and I know you guys would have to go to bed. So I have to think about that. So guys, big up everyone who come in the chat.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, man. And glad to be on. Right, I know a good time here in my phone up on 4%. So
all right, see that's big. Coach have to go as well.
Yeah,
so guys,
man.
Much respect. Everybody, love you guys coming in the chat. Much respect to you again as well, EGTV for Eagle for coming in the chat. Guys, much respect, love, peace out, everybody, and Military Guna TV, and we are out.